Yes, my Lord and Empress, love to the international family of Ras Tafari and Black people. This is Honorable Priest Norman Lamont of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church, an educator and the leading priest. And now the time has come for us, for the lion, to tell his own story. And here we are, in the lion's voice, with the Honorable Ras Kwasi. Blessed love, my Lord.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
If we're going to say that reggae is what it is for Jamaica, if we're going to say that reggae has built an ecosystem, and when we talk about ecosystem, it might sound like we're behaving right, and it really, an ecosystem is really all the players involved. So from the creatives, the artists, the producers, the engineers, the publishers, the publicists, the man who has sell the can on the roadside after a party, the man who has set up the stage, all of you make up an ecosystem. So it's a big system, it's a big network. It's not just who you see on stage that makes this industry. So I think if Jamaica really is going to say that a reggae put Jamaica on top, then Edna becomes the most important space for development.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabet is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tabara, meaning one to be feared or respected. Ras Tafari's father, Ras Makonnen, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Makonnen is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Makonnen knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Ras Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Faith, I think all the jobs that I've owned, I was at Bureau of Women's Affairs because Glenda Sims, who was director at the time, was my neighbor and thought that I spoke so well, I must be a good writer. Mm-hmm. So she invited me to apply for the communications there. And I kind of moved around in government comms. Again, it was my literature background that made me stronger than the average graduate of, say, media and communications. So I was at Heritage Trust at the time, the National Heritage Trust, as the director of communications. And Minister Grange invited me to ask my supervisor if them can lend her me. Worst thing if you do. When Minister Grange says she borrow one staff, you now get her back. So she borrowed me because there was a lot of things happening. I think Bolt was coming. There was a homecoming for Bolt. But there was also this Reggae Month was going to be declared in 2008. So I got the call 2007. By 2008, the Governor General declared February as Reggae Month. And Minister would have these meetings, night meetings. We done the meeting at 11 o'clock and she just walk in and the meeting start all over again. I met Ibo Cooper, Charles Campbell, Junior Lincoln, Stephen Stewart, a lot of reggae music. I think that's the time I started really knowing people in the industry, and not just people who come to do an interview on radio and who I was doing little small publicity work for. So yeah, because I was with the Reggae Industry Association, started having concerts at this wonderful place called the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. And I remember saying to Ibu, I really like it here. And it was a specific incident. I was recalled to go to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management to coordinate Jamaicans coming back home after the Haitian earthquake, and to do like press releases and so forth going out. And there was a victim who was staying with me, and I went to Edna, and there was a girl, Sabrina. Brina was singing, and she made a song for this Haitian girl. And I remember saying to Ibu, I'd love to work here. And he laughed. And then we were out in Wikiwaki. I remember Ibu and I were standing out in Wikiwaki looking at the sea, and I said, I have no connections on bigger Edna. And he took out his phone and called the principal and said, I have one girl who just want to come at Edna. But she's an excellent marketer, because by then I was the director of marketing for the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association. Okay. And they invited me to a meeting. I went to the meeting with a full proposal. Prepared. There was no job though. At the time, there wasn't a job. So they said they would keep in touch if something opens up. And a few months later, I remember I was in hotline, my phone rang, and it was Edna. And they said that, they have a little project for 6 months. And I took it. During the 6 months, the job came up, and I applied for it and got the job. So that's how I landed at Edna. So Ibu was my champion. Ibu was my mentor. He was like my big brother. Everything that you can think of in somebody, just making sure Ibu was always interested in my children, Yes. So he was like the consummate godfather, grandfather kind of figure. And so my career at Edna, I really owe it to first Minister Grange calling me for that meeting, me being noticed by these brethren out of the music industry, working with Jaria, and then citing up Edna and Ibu championing that, So yeah, Edna is, I think, one of the most important institutions in the Caribbean, definitely in Jamaica. If we're going to say that reggae is what it is for Jamaica, if we're going to say that reggae has built an ecosystem, and when we talk about ecosystem, it might sound like we're behaving right, and it really, an ecosystem is really all the players involved. So from the creatives, the artists, the producers, the engineers, the publishers, the publicists, the man who has sell the can on the roadside after a party, the man who has set up the stage, all of you make up an ecosystem. So it's a big system, it's a big network. It's not just who you see on stage that makes this industry. So I think if Jamaica really is going to say that a reggae put Jamaica on top, then Edna becomes the most important space for development. Alpha becomes one of the key spaces for development. So if it's like our goal, if reggae is our goal, then you have to mind that goal, you know? And the way that we treat things, I was bad with plants before COVID. No, I love garden on my balcony. And it's because I've spent time with it. You water it and just pour water upon it. You really study it and know what works for this plant might not necessarily work for that plant. And so for me, in the way that we have a track and field, there is a sports industry. I can comfortably say there is a sports business that goes on from champs, and every picnic Jamaica learned to run because they see it from Merlin Otti days, from Arthur Wink days, that there is hope. You get scholarship to go foreign. We haven't really developed that for music. Every student is supposed to be introduced to at least one instrument, then you with a recorder from primary school. But most rural children, most inner city poor children can't really buy a recorder. No one is providing it. If it's a drum and bass culture, then why we don't have drum and bass everywhere? Thank God for the church.
Yes.
The church has been amazing with shaping musicians, because most musicians will tell you they came out of church. Most of Edna's students came out of a church system where they learn to play by ear, and then they come into this space and have to spend 5 years because they are learning theory at this stage. It's not taught. So for me, a national strategy ought to be investment in music or investment in the creative industries.
Well, Haile Selassie the first is the Almighty, and he has manifested himself in physical form and was born as Ras Tafari Enterprises. And he was crowned by his side with Empress Menen. So wait, nobody now big up the natural woman them, Mother Earth, mother of all the earth's children. Well, big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown or wearing as I am nothing fake will be there. Well, big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown or wearing as I am nothing fake will be there. Well, big up all the woman with the pretty black skin, and inna the ear you no join the bleaching, and inna the ear you proud of your melanin. Never giving you a fit, try something. The Almighty, I bless you with your shape. Bless you with the smile where you put on your face. Bless you with the wine where you got in your waist. Real African, look how she a move to the bass. Take time, slow wine now. Take time and slow wine now. Speed up, hand by your knee cup and speed up now. Della move. Skin smooth so, the Stella move then. Butterfly then. Butterfly blessed by the Most High. Now do the butterfly. Big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown or wearing as I am nothing fake will be here. Well, big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown or wearing as I am nothing fake will be here. Then tell the little black girl or here a troublemaker. Every weekend them gonna hairdresser. Tell her straight here I go make her feel better. Tell her Taylor Swift she a the real trendsetter. Take the little girl them sit her down pan cheer. Tell her that her naps it was than a nightmare. Attack her roots with chemical warfare. Tell her relax the creamy cracker get prepared. Take the creamy crack then put it on her head top. Tell her don't move till the fire get hot. Tell her straight here I go put her pant up and leave it on too long. Now she burn up pants spot.